Okay, I'm going to do Wednesday night's homework, so that's Module 5, Lesson 12. And it asks us to find the area of rectangles with the following dimensions and explain your thinking using an area model. So the first one, 3A, says 2 1/4 yards times 1/4 yards. And we know that to find area, it's going to be length times width. And since we're multiplying two dimensions, it's going to give us an answer with some sort of a unit squared to the second power because we're multiplying two dimensions. So down here, it wants us to show our work with an area model. So let's go ahead and draw our rectangle. And we're going to break it into 2 1/4. And then over here, it's just a fourth, so we don't have to break that up. We only have to decompose this first one. So I'm going to go ahead and write 2 yards here. And then I have to add a 1/4 yard here to make the whole length 2 1/4 yard. And you could have done that as the width because it doesn't matter when you multiply what order you multiply in. Now we're going to go ahead and do our width because we've done this. And we're going to put 1/4 over here. And we always make sure we label each number with a dimension, with a unit. So now we have 2 areas that we're going to need to find. And those will be our partial products that will add up. So we need to find the length times the width, which equals the area of this. So 1/4 times 2. So that's 1/4 times 2, or we're taking 1/4 2 times. So 2 times 1 is 2/4. So if we have 1/4 2 times, it's 2/4, which is the same thing as a half. So I'm just going to label this as 1/2 yard. And now it's squared because that's the area of this. Now let's find the area of the second partial product. The length is a 1/4 and the width is a 1/4. So we're going to do 1/4 times 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1. And 4 times 4 is 16. Because when we multiply fractions, we just go straight across. We don't have to get common denominators. So this will be 1/16 yard squared. Now we have to add these partial products. 1/2 plus a 16th. Now we're adding fractions, so we do need to have the same denominator. So in this case, we see what do they have in common, and we can't make the 16 go down, so we are going to turn them into 16ths. So what is half the 16? 8. So 8/16 plus 1/16 equals 9/16. Now let's see if we can reduce this at all. Nope, it looks like they don't have anything in common, so our answer to A is 9/16. Now really quickly, let's do B, which is 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. So we're going to have to split up 2 1/2 and 1 1/4. So I'm going to put 2, and this time it's feet by 1/2 foot. And then over here we'll do 1 foot. And we'll have to split this way now because we have 1/4 of a foot. So each side had to be split because we decomposed. Now we have 4 partial products that we'll do. 2 times 1 is 2 feet squared. 1 times 1/2 is 1/2 a foot squared. Length times width will be 2 times 1/4, which gives us 2/4, or 1/2 of a foot squared. And then length times width is 1/2 times 1/4, which is just 1/8 foot squared. Then you just need to add these up. We need to make these halves into eighths, so they'd each be 4/8. But if you add up 2 halves, that's just a whole. Plus 2 is 3, so it'll be 3 and 1/8 feet squared for the area of the whole thing.